Hello YouTube, I'm Mark King here, and here's a story by John Binder. It's from Breitbart, and it's DHS Halts bringing more H-2B foreign workers to the U.S. amid opposition. So H-2B is essentially they import workers to basically do American jobs, and they were still planning on doing it until there was some pushback against it, rightfully so, especially in this day in 2020. What's going on out there? It was insane that they were still thinking about doing it up until a few days ago. But thank God sanity took over. Sane people actually convinced these narcissists, these psychopaths or sociopaths, whatever they are, right? Anyway, so let's just get right to the story, right? So the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, is halting efforts to bring in more H-2B foreign visa workers to the United States to take non-agricultural jobs after mounting public opposition. Again, finally, something positive. See, something bad, such as the current situation, the pandemic, brings about something good. Right? Immigration exploded probably since the 1970s, and to take away jobs from people who would otherwise have lower skill work. But it's also physical work. I don't like saying lower skill work. Physical work is a much better. When I think say it's to me when they say lower skill work, they're trying to insult people who do the jobs. Like, what's happened? When you take away jobs, especially like from the black community, right? Usually, um, just what I've seen, black men tend to be poor in school, right? They tend to come from fatherless homes, and then they tend not to succeed even in college and towards the end of high school. But part of the reason why communities have such problems is that the men don't work. These jobs can go to those men, and you see the crime rates get lower, the single father rates drop. It's absolutely anti-American to import so many people, especially for work. Why would you do that? You're punishing your own native population, especially the poorest. But anyway, let's continue. On Thursday, the DHS officials said they were halting the plan to bring in those additional 35,000 H-2B foreign visa workers due to present economic circumstances, where 6.6 million Americans have now filed jobless claims amidst the Chinese virus. That's right, it's the Chinese virus. Really good author. John Binder is an excellent journalist. Okay, that's journalism there. Okay, but it's a shame that it took people basically complaining for the right thing to be done. The right thing should have been done all along. This should have been announced weeks ago. Like, we're not importing anybody. That's what this should have been done. So every year, U.S. companies are allowed to import 66,000 low-skilled H-2B foreign workers to take blue-collar, non-agricultural jobs. For some time, the H-2B visa program has been used by businesses to bring cheaper foreign workers and has contributed to blue-collar Americans having their wages undercut. Absolutely right. This is why people should be against immigration. This is why these far left morons are wrong. They're wrong. Progressives are wrong. Open border people, they're wrong. You're punishing your own citizens for either some virtue signal or you're not bright enough to understand what's really going on. You want crime rates to drop. Give the men by the way, the women have pushed the men out of the workplace. Women have basically taken jobs that rightfully should go to men through minority hiring. If you don't know, minority hiring was started in I think the 1960s. About a couple of years later, women hijacked minority hiring, and they wanted to be part of minority hiring. Of course, the sociopathic politicians agreed, because they can now tax a second income. But what happened is the women jumped to the front of the line, and they basically the blacks can get hired. The women just jumped in front of the line. Minority hiring was specifically meant to help the black people, and here we are. Here we are 60 years later, and it's effed. It's a mess. Here's a quote from Tucker Carlson. That's a total of 100,000 foreign workers coming to the country to take jobs during the single biggest unemployment crisis in a century. It's demented in a year where tens of millions of Americans could be looking for work. Our government is importing more than 150,000 workers from abroad, and that's without counting thousands of H2A agricultural workers who will be coming as well. The president needs to stop this from happening, and he can. And thank goodness whatever happened he did or they did or the government officials, but it shouldn't take a virtue signal, right? Okay, so again, the political correctness is awful. It's what happened in Italy, right? Why Italy is overrun with the coronavirus. And here's an article again by Breitbart, and it's from Alana Mastrangelo. Um, this is the Italian governor. I was called racist for wanting to test China travelers in February. So this article, the Lombardy governor Antilo Fontana said that he was mocked with insolent words and called racist by his colleagues in February because he had asked for testing for people coming from China. So because of political correctness, because of the again, it's a communist tactic to call people racist and sexist. It's literally a communist tactic, right? It's a Marxist tactic. Okay, so because of this has led to thousands of people, hundreds of thousands probably infected. Thousands of people are going to die from this in just Italy alone, all because of the progressives, the liberal-minded people using it as a tool. Using it as a tool, and the Italian governor wanted to do the right thing, but because he was called racist and probably sexist, who knows, it led to the deaths of many people. It's a shame. It's an absolute disaster and a shame that identity politics, which should be called out for what it is. The media instead of calling it out has basically protected identity politics, political correctness, and will probably blame the sitting president in America, and probably the sitting president in Brazil also, and the sitting president in the UK for what's happened, instead of calling out their own misgivings. All right. So anyway, so good news happened, at least with DHS. America has a chance to get jobs, hopefully in the near future. We need to do something desperately about immigration, and maybe this pandemic. It's terrible, but there's some positive outcomes. Hopefully, it makes people contemplate about just importing anybody and get control of the immigration system. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please share, subscribe. Hopefully you think I'm doing an okay job. I'm trying to improve. Take care, guys. I'll do better next time.